ask you something about Cameroon, but given that you've now confirmed that that the Secretary General is going to the CEB meeting, I wanted to ask you what I asked yesterday, which is number one, whether WIPO is the host, two, whether the Secretary General is aware of the retaliation issues that have been raised by the Government Accountability Project and others about Mr. Guri, and three, is it true that the meeting will, after the first day of convening, move to a quote, a described luxury hotel in Montreux? And if so, what are the costs of the meeting, given what you said about air travel?
The first day of the meetings will be held at WIPO. I think everyone is aware of the issues that have taken place in WIPO. The second half of the meeting is being hosted by the Swiss authorities.
In Montreux?
Indeed.
Okay. And what I want to ask you about Cameroon is that there's a report, there seems to be back and forth. Doctors Without Borders has said that they have witnessed and can attest to the refoulement of refugees from Cameroon back into Nigeria. So I wanted to know, I've asked about it before and it seemed to have been unclear at that time. And I also want to again ask, I guess I'd like you to confirm or deny. Jeune Afrique, a respected publication, has said that the Secretary General tried to reach Paul Biya. And I wanted to know now especially that it could be about one of either two issues, either the cutoff of the internet for 92 days or this refoulement issue. Can you give some guidance of what the Secretary General's thinking is on these two issues and whether he raised it yesterday with the African Union?
On the meeting with the African Union was very broad. They went through a number of issues that are pertinent to the African Union African Union UN partnership. As a matter of course, we try to announce when we feel it's necessary phone calls that have happened. I'm not going to go into details of phone calls that have not happened. And on the issue of the refoulement, we of course stand against any refoulement which is against the 1951 Convention on Refugees. On this particular case, I would ask you to ask UNHCR, which obviously is more involved in this than we are from here.
And just on the AU meeting, I wanted to ask this yesterday. Did the issue of Burundi come up? Given that there is supposed to be AU monitors there and there's also a UN mission, both seem to be getting rebuffed. Were any decisions made between the two protagonists?
There was a wide exchange of views on all sorts of countries, and I do believe that Burundi did come up.
There was a press conference here at 10 o'clock by the Watch List on Children in Armed Conflict and Save the Children, and both of them were pretty strenuous in saying that the Saudi-led coalition should be listed by the Secretary General in this annex. I wanted to, I guess I don't expect you to preview it, but I'd like to ask you a couple of things. One, is it the case that Virginia Gamba will in fact assume her work on May 1st? And if so, will she be the primary one making the recommendation to the Secretary General? Two, and this is not related to the press conference, can you confirm that those considered for the position involved Yanghee Lee and also Mr. Allan Rock? And how would you respond, if so, to the idea that Ms. Gamba, despite her work on the gym, has not really viewed as a child advocate? So I guess I have another NGO question, but those were about,
I think Ms. Gamba will stay on at the gym for another few weeks or a couple of weeks. I don't know the exact date of her start time. In the meantime, the Secretary General we're looking at the people to succeed her. The office, the special representative isn't alone in that office. There is a deputy special representative. There's a chief of staff. They're continuing their work, obviously in preparation for the report, which will come out later this year. And so she will be as soon as she assumes her job, she will take over the position and assume that responsibility as the Secretary General's principal advisor on issues of children in armed conflict. I think Ms. Gamba is an extremely experienced and talented international civil servant who's had wide experience, and I think will be a great leader to that office and a great advocate for children, for the protection of children.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you, this is also a different NGO, Amnesty International, you may have heard of, has issued a call saying that the UN mission for the referendum in Western Sahara, MINURSO, should have a human rights monitoring function. And I've seen a copy. I'm not sure if you can say what the status of the Secretary General's report is. Is it now officially?
Yeah, the report.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
I want to make sure that the one that I've seen is the one. I would refer you to the report.
Since is it fair to say that he's not recommending a human rights monitoring function for the mission? And if so, why not?
I think it's fair to say that the report speaks for itself.
Right, so he's not recommending it.
You do the analysis,
Right.
and we've written the report. Thank you.